Happy Tuesday, everyone. I'm a bit gutted. I don't know where my live with Kelly Rennie's gone. I don't know. I'm keeping it real. But look, I'm coming on today to talk about something that really comes up all the time. It actually came up in my life last week, and it was something that really affected me. Hey Lizzie, and I really wanted to touch base with you. I was going to say happy Monday, but it's Tuesday because it was a bank holiday here yesterday. Here's a question for you, mums. What are you tuned into right now? What is it that's coming up within your life that you are constantly thinking about, worrying about? Is it stress of kids? Is it stress of finance? Is it stressing about stressed? Is it focusing on things that are out of your control? Is it living in your own head and your own four walls? Because if you're constantly tuning yourself into that, it's going to be your belief system that you're going to create over a long time. And for example, I had some things out of my control last week, and I became tuned into not being able to control my kids. I became tuned into stressing about being stressed, even though I'm usually good at quite letting that go. And in the end, after my 3-day period of living in my own head and realizing that I basically just needed to go and change the dial, and that means that if you're tuning into this bit here and you're not actually remembering that that's a choice, then it's going to be very hard for you to get out of that. And what I see happen very common with mums is that they choose to live in it. They choose to constantly talk about, the lack of sleep that they've had. Hey, Joe. They constantly talk about, the stress of dealing with the kids, the stress of being stressed. And when you start to talk about this, come on, tell me, ladies, can you not feel that vibration? All right. If someone comes up to you and starts to talk about how bad their life is, that sends off a negative vibration to you. All right. And imagine if someone came up to you and you said, "Hey, you're going?" They went, "Great. I'm having a great day. Life is great." What kind of energy does that send to you? It's like, wow, I want a bit of that. How what pills that person taken? And when we tune ourselves into life and stress and work and living in that story of, I can't do this because, I've got no time, and, I'm too stressed at the moment to even think about eating healthy, or stuff it. I'm just going to drink a bottle of wine tonight. I'm going to sit in some chocolate and, this and this and this. You've got to realize that that's only the story that you're creating in your head. Okay. So what I did on Saturday is I actually sat down, and I told my mums this actually on the UBM, is I actually got a pen and paper, and I had got to a point where my head was so tight, and I'd literally forgot to start, I'd forgot to breathe, because when you're stressed, you breathe out. Hold on, sorry, someone called through. You're not breathing into your belly. So then I got a piece of paper and I wrote down all the things on one side that I was worrying about, and then the reality of what it actually was and what was out of my control. So I had 2 columns, okay? And most of it I managed to turn into a positive, okay? Because what I was worrying about was absolutely so stupid, or stressing about, that in the end I had just made up a story in my head that I was going to live in. And over the last week, I've spoken to many mums who have got them have put themselves down that path. Life got too busy, the kids have been stressing me out, I'm now back to where I was, 10 kgs heavier. Luckily, on the Busy Mum program, we teach you tools and systems to be able to stop you going down that path. All right, because the reality is, sorry, someone's just called through again. I've messaged them. Being a busy mum is real. Okay, being a busy mum is actually real. Sorry about that, guys. Being a busy mum reality is that it's real. All right, but it keeps ringing through. I might have to get off in a second. is that it's real, but you also have to realize is that everything's a choice. All right, so what I would like you to do this week, if you can, if you're tuning into all the things that say you can't, what I want you to do is switch that dial. All right, find something that makes you happy, because as humans, we're led by our emotional states. You've got to find something that's going to make you happy, and that might mean reaching out for help. All right, that might mean finding a coach. That might mean, having a chat to your partner and say, hey, I need your help on this, or communicate with your partner, communicate with your family. Don't go within and keep it within, because the more you share, the more you take action and turn that dial, then you're going to be able to take action with your health and fitness a lot more. Okay, so I'm going to get going because this person keeps calling through, but just have a wee think about it. What are you tuning into today? All right, if you want to if you want to tune in and change your life, then come and join our program. All right, I think we've got a couple of spaces left on Mondays. We always sell out, which is a good thing. Reach out. Put some things below that you're struggling with, and let me be able to help you in any way, shape possible. And I will speak to you soon. See you later.